Good evening, baseball fans. It is Wednesday, February 26th. It has been, I was going to say a hot minute, but it's been more than a minute. It has been like a month, and I'm very sorry about that. It was a very unintentional hiatus between weather and schedules and sickness and kids. It's just it's a whole hot mess over here. So I'm going to take 94% of the blame because it was all me. I was going to say, it's really not Tom's fault at all. Like, really, it was 94% me and then like 6% Kelsey, which leaves 0% blame for Tom because Tom was like always at the ready. So, anyways, very sorry. That's on me. I apologize, but maths is hard and my brain is tired, very tired. But don't go back to school when you're 40, Tom. Just don't do it. Don't do it.
Could not be me. You are a better person than me. I did it in my 30s and hated every minute of it. 10 more years onto that? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I do not recommend it. I'm currently doing amortization. I'm learning the formula to figure out future value and present value of amortization and annuities. And I'm just saying they should teach this kind of stuff to like high school kids before they go off into the real world, because I would have made way more wise choices in my younger years. I'm just saying. Anyhow, that's not what this podcast is about, though. It's about the baseballs. It's about the baseball. So, welcome to Bourbon and Baseball, Astros Edition. I am Suzy. That is Tom, and away we go. But before we start, because it has been a hot minute, this will require all of the rated R warnings for all of the cuss words, probably some inappropriate adult humor, but mainly for the cuss words. Because we're going to get into some various topics that are going to require lots and lots of cuss words. And maybe we'll create like new cuss words or like pairings of cuss words. Combos of cuss words. That's the word I wanted. Anyways, so, with that out of the way, away we go. Like I said, if you don't like that, I'm very sorry about that. But there's your rated R warning. Cover the kids' ears or put in headphones or, I don't know, wait till the kids are asleep. I'm not judging though. You want your kids to learn the proper usage of F-bombs? By all means. I can do that for them. Anyhow, just don't send me like mean tweets or DMs. Now, with that out of the way, away we go. It has been 4,003 days since we've last podcasted, and lots and lots of things have happened. We're not going to go over all of those things, though. The main takeaway, though, from this break, Tom, is who is our third baseman? Because it's not AlexBregman. It is not AlexBregman. Who's our third baseman, Tom?
As of today, Isaac Paredes is your third baseman for the Houston Astros. How long that will be, I do not know. There's obviously some things that we're going to get into that may change who that person is. There's so many different things that are going on right now with these Astros, whether it be rumors, whether it be guys that they're running out at spring training, whether it be, the guys that are there currently. There's a lot happening. I really do feel like it's probably going to be okay. I know there were so many people that were so upset when AlexBregman decided to sign with the Boston Red Sox for the money and the years, and all the things were said, and it wasn't really that way. But
well, hold on. It wasn't really what way? What way are we talking about here? What? Clarify for me and the people.
So a lot of people felt that AlexBregman was going to hold to his guns and he was going to get the long-term deal, and that was going to be exactly what happened. And there was this wise old dude on a podcast, maybe you've heard of him, that said that there was no way he was going to get that deal. He was going to get a short-term deal, and it was just going to be large AAV, and lo and behold, that's what happened. The market kind of just changed, and then everything that AlexBregman said changed, and it made some people very...
Hold on. AlexBregman got his long-term deal with the money, but he did not want to go to the Detroit Tigers. 7 years, 171. That's not what he wanted to do. So AlexBregman coming out and saying, "Oh, I want a long-term contract, blah, 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 blah." No, the fuck you didn't, AlexBregman. I take that back. You wanted a long-term contract from the Boston Red Sox, because the entire time, that's what he wanted. He wanted to go to the Red Sox.
I disagree.
Now, granted, no.
I do. Because, and this is what I said to you, we texted about it, and I'll say it again. If he would have got $200 million from any ball club, he would have signed with that ball club. At 171, the number was not high enough for him to go, okay, I'll take my talents to Detroit. At 156, the number was not high enough for him to go, okay, I'll keep my talents in Houston. I think he took the Red Sox money because, I think it still offers him the opportunity to opt out and still go chase the money. I think he's after $200 million, however you slice
regardless,
it.
He's taking a pay cut this season. Half of that money is deferred. He's getting paid until he is like 57 years old from the Red Sox, which is fine. Bregman, get your fucking bag. That's fine. I will never begrudge a player for going and getting his bag. Just don't fucking, is it bold-faced? Bald-faced? Leave it in the comments. Which one is it? Bold-faced? Bald-faced?
Depends on what side of the Mason-Dixon line.
Don't fucking lie to the people and say, oh, it's because I want a long-term deal. No, the fuck you didn't. You wanted to get the money, and the Boston Red Sox said, hey, Bregman, we're going to give you $40 million. It's not going to be actually $40 million. It's really going to be like 31 and change. And we're going to defer some money because, the Dodgers are not the only team that can do that. And essentially, you're just going to get paid the same fucking money that you would get in Houston. But you're going to be doing it here in Boston, in red, with the Green Monster. Now, you can sit there, and we are going to categorically disagree on this. Tom, I'm not going to convince you otherwise. You are not going to convince me otherwise. Motherfucker wanted to be in Boston. In the offseason, he is calling Jared Carrabis fucking looking dejected, asking why the Red Sox won't fucking sign him. Okay? Motherfucker wanted to go to Boston. And a part of me is really wondering how this whole media shift since Bregman has gone to the Red Sox is really going to go. Because I don't know if you've noticed this, Tom, but all the reportings for AlexBregman being on the Red Sox, highly positive, and nary a mention of the 2017 cheating scandal. Nary a mention. Now, I understand. He was on the team. He did the thing. I get it. I do. However, why the fuck didn't Alex Bregman get the press like he did, or like he's getting in Boston, in Houston?
Well, I think it's Houston, and it's just Houston, because KyleTucker's getting the same love that he wasn't getting in Houston too. If you want to talk about love, because KyleTucker, they are shining. We can't talk about KyleTucker hard in Chicago.
Listen, I said that I promised myself I wasn't going to cry on this podcast. If we start talking about KyleTucker on this podcast, I'm going to start crying, and then you're going to make me break my promise to myself, and that's not fun, Tom. Okay, we don't want crying Suzy on the podcast. We'll talk about KyleTucker later, just not now. Okay, it's still fresh. It's still a very, very fresh wound that you were just pouring all of the salt in. All right.
Okay.
This podcast is not about KyleTucker. It's about Alex Bregman and how the fuck you wanted to go to Boston.
Let me change it then. Justin Verlander is getting tons of shine in San Francisco too. It's Houston.
Really.
They are, and a lot of it is Ben Verlander. I get it, but he's still getting love without being in Houston. I mean, I really feel like the national media, it's just easy, low-hanging fruit for them to treat the Astros like redheaded stepchildren, and it feeds people's hate fire, which they just don't really. They don't need any help, but they'll gladly take the free clicks and likes and retweets and whatever you want anytime they kind of throw shade at Houston. It's what they do, at least in my opinion. Let me be clear. That's my opinion. Bregman, they're gonna make him the shiny penny every chance they get. Anyone that leaves Houston, Yusei Kikuchi could probably pitch a good game, and they will glaze him because he's not in Houston. It's just what they do.
I mean, let's be really honest, Yusei Kikuchi, I love you, but I really feel like as soon as he goes over to LA, he's going to turn back into the Blue Jays, Yusei Kikuchi, and it's going to make me very sad. But, shout out to the pitching lab. Astros, I don't know what black magic Josh Miller working with over here, but just keep on doing it, sir. Keep on fucking doing it. Anyhow, okay, maybe it is the whole Houston factor of it, but I mean, Alex Bregman has been in Boston for all of 72 seconds, and he's already the fucking poster boy and face of the fucking Red Sox. I understand Rafi's getting all of the money, all of the years, whatever. They've been trying to make Rafi the face of the Red Sox for years now, and Rafi doesn't want to do it. He's not that guy. That's not his personality. He don't want to do it. He wants to go play ball. He wants to go the fuck home. He don't want to talk to reporters. He doesn't want to do any of it. Okay. Trevor Story has not fucking been there. He's been hurt. Okay. Rob Refsnyder is not the guy. He is a utility bat that is the clubhouse leader for some reason because he is the adult in the fucking room. All right. Jaron Duran has got some panache to him, but he's maybe needs some media training. Tristan Casas, sir, what the fuck are we doing, Tristan Casas? Lord have mercy. Alex Bregman immediately comes over to the Red Sox and is now the fucking poster boy face of the Red Sox. And good on you, Alex Bregman. Dustin Pedroia was your favorite player growing up. You always wanted to play in Boston. I don't know. I'm just saying. I feel like Cocky Breggy, the four fingers holding up, is coming back. He's coming back in Boston. And it's going to be really interesting to see the narrative around that because after the whole cheating scandal, that bravado, tamp down, we haven't seen Cocky Breggy here since like 2018.
I disagree. Totally disagree. Cocky Bregman is a thing that happens when A, the team is winning, and B, he's hitting. Late in the season, you saw that. He had hits where you saw that. He had the now you're not going to get it in the media. I think you're never going to get it in the media because he was dealing with everything with the
I'm talking about the four fingers up, the staring into the camera. I'm talking about that Bregman.
If they win, if he hits, he'll do it. I think this season you weren't going to get it because he played like shit for 3 months. Literally always. I'm saying,
Red Sox fans, heed my warning. Hear me and take it to heart. Okay? First 3 months, he's going to suck. I don't know why. He's going to have a bomb ass fucking spring training. And then your hopes are going to be up here. And then immediately Alex Bregman is going to dash him. I don't know why. Okay, come May, June, motherfucker's going to light it up and be the Alex Bregman that you always know. But the first 3 months, heed my warning, you are going to say that Alex Bregman sucks. He's not the leader of the clubhouse, blah, 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 blah. Shouldn't have paid him all this money. Clip it. I don't give a fuck. Watch Alex Bregman be like, you know what? Fuck you, Suzy. Look what I can do. You see this fucking monster? Watch me hit all the fucking doubles.
So, like I said, I think you get that dude if they're winning, if he's hitting. I think that division's really tough. I think it's colder longer up there. I don't think he does well in the cold. That's why it takes the summer for it to warm up for him to be.
It wasn't cold down here. We played.
I understand
that he played.
I understand. It's a psychological thing. I don't fucking know. I can't explain it. Why does he have these great?
One of those sun lamps.
Why does he have this great spring training in friggin' Florida, and then all of a sudden the season starts and he's got to go to friggin' Minnesota and he forgets how to hit? I don't know. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. Love the guy. Wish him all the best. Can't say that I'm going to root for him because he's still in the AL. Obviously, that's a problem. So, yeah, I mean, the return to Dyken Park is going to be pretty cool. You know, I think the tribute will probably be pretty cool. The Astros are really good about taking care of their guys.
Do you think he's going to get booed?
No, I don't think he's going to get booed. I really don't. There'll be 5 people in the stands that'll do it just because to be different. But Alex Bregman did way too much for this city, for this team, for his entire career to just, walk in here and get booed. There were guys that did less that didn't get booed.
I agree with you. But Alex Bregman left a bad taste in my mouth. That's what she said. Just the whole drama of the fucking offseason, and we gave him a fair offer. He turned it down. That's fine. But then, again, don't fucking say, oh, well, it's a long-term deal that I'm after, blah, 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 blah. And then like renegotiate and say, oh yeah, we're in talks now. And I've yet to come across anybody that has verifiable information on an actual number. And I think that second engagement about how the Astros said that, or somebody said that the Astros offered another higher number. Nobody. I've asked at least 4 different verifiable people, what was this number? Nobody has a fucking number. And so I feel like maybe that was just a Scott Boras re-engagement tactic, stalking horse type deal to get the Red Sox to give him more money, to have the Tigers give him more money. The Tigers threw shade at him, and said, we only want players that want to be here. If you don't want to be here, then, that's fine. I get it. I understand. Tigers, I feel your pain. I don't know where he's going to play in Boston, and that's fine. We're going to see where that drama ends up, and mark my words, by the All-Star break, AlexBregman is the Red Sox third baseman.
I think sooner than that. I really do. I feel like the whole narrative that he's not going to be the third baseman because Rafi Devers says, "Oh, I'm the third baseman." I think in the end, they're going to put Rafi where they need to put him, and he's just going to be unhappy. Everybody saw the
Yoshida. Enjoy that fucking bench, sir.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'll pay Masataka Yoshida $18 million. I mean, I'm not going to pay him. Masa, come to Boston. Leave Boston. Come to Houston. We've got an outfield for you to play in. Go.
We can talk about that outfield.
Let's do it. Okay. So AlexBregman is out of the way. The other huge, I say huge news. It's not huge news. It's very tiny news because our very short king is no longer going to be our second baseman. Our short king apparently is now going to full-time play left field because he apparently gave his second base infield glove to a kid and was like, I'm an outfielder now. I'm sorry, sir, what? You're going to be an outfielder like at all the parks? I was expecting left field, 81 games, minute maid. You're going to be a left fielder all of the times now? I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think I like that.
Build the fucking statue right now. Right now. Just do it. There's nothing more selfless this man can possibly do for this friggin' organization. Just build the statue. We had 0 left field. What were we talking about? Taylor Trammell. That's what we were talking about in left field before AlexBregman said, look, I'll do it. We don't have anybody to do it. I'll do it.
JoseAltuve, you mean?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I lost the names. Build the statue. I love what.
Don't build a statue to AlexBregman. Build the statue for our short king.
Yes.
JoseAltuve.
Yes. My bad. Definitely do not build Bregman a statue. Make him a nice, plaque and a chair, to take with him to Boston or whatever. But yes, build JoseAltuve a friggin' statue because he did not have to do this. It was initially thought that it was I'm doing it for Bregman. No, they talked about this before the fact because they knew what the outfield depth was going to be. They knew that the struggle that they were coming into, that they couldn't fill those holes. They looked at the free agency market and said, man, those prices are rich. I don't think we can afford it. I don't know if those guys fit what we want to do. We've got some young guys coming up. If we can just get to them. And Tuve said, you know what? I'll do it. And never complained, never wavered, just give me a glove, show me how to do it, I'll do it. And no other players doing that. You're literally watching Boston fight over third base. You got 2 guys fighting over third base. And this guy's like, just let me hit. I'll play wherever. I don't care. Teach me how to, I wouldn't be surprised if Tuve said, teach me how to catch. I'll do it. That's how awesome JoseAltuve is. Like,
amen.
They don't make guys like that. They just don't. You see guys that are so territorial. This is me and this is what I do and I'm not going to change and I'm not going to bend and this is all I know. And all he's trying to do is help the team win. And I'm the biggest fan for that.
I need Uncle Mike to come back to spring training.
Ooh.
And show Altuve the ropes. That's what I need. I would die for that content. Not gonna lie. I would. Chef's kiss. Would love that so much. But I don't know because is Uncle Mike gonna go to Chicago or go to Arizona now and hang out with Tuck at spring training there because they're besties?
Hope not.
Or will he come to Astros camp and show Altuve how to play left field? Now, I'm all for building the statue. I'm all for building the statue. You all know how much I love our short king. But one of the main reasons why they were asking why they even broached this topic of Jose Altuve moving off of second base, is the defensive capabilities of our short king has unfortunately declined in the past 3 seasons. And the arm strength apparently is an issue. Do you remember, was it 2019? Uncle Mike's double play.
Throw out Judge first base.
From left field to throw out Aaron Judge. We're never gonna see that from our short king. That's not something that we're gonna see. We're gonna see lots of cutoff throws.
I'm okay with that.
That is okay. But I just needed I had to say that out loud to temper my own expectations, because that memory of Uncle Mike is embedded into my memory forever. And it's been a minute since we've had some electric left fielders. Now, don't get me wrong, Yordan has done a couple of those. But Yordan is strictly going to be DH this season. He may play a few games in the outfield, but last season he played 52 games, 56 games in the 50s, and that was too many games. Too many games. Joe Espada said, nope, no mas.
The irony in that is that the last time he got nicked up was running the bases. It was not playing in the field.
Don't let Yordan steal bases. Why are we letting Yordan steal bases? Don't do that. That's not a thing that we want. Please don't do that.
Station to station, baby.
Okay, like that's a big man. That is a big man. Just hit the dingers. Get on base, sir. Just that's all we need. Anyhow, so Yordan will be the full-time DH. Jose Altuve apparently is going to be the full-time left fielder, which leaves a gaping hole at second base. And Tom, who's going to play second base for us?
BrendanRodgers.
Every day second base.
MauricioDubon. I think it'll be committee. I think both of those guys make the club. I think BrendanRodgers is a Gold Glove second baseman, and I think he sought the Astros out, which I thought was very cool. The fact that he saw what was going on and went to his agent and said, which I think is Scott Boras, which is kind of odd, but went to his agent and said, hey, get me in contact with Houston. I want to try to make that club. I love that. For all the people that complain that he's just a hitter in Colorado and his numbers are garbage everywhere else, well, keep in mind that the roster he was on, you didn't have to pitch to him. Like, nobody was scared of pitching around BrendanRodgers to get to some of these other guys. So now put him in a lineup where he's going to get pitches to hit. I think his numbers are going to be better. I think he could be a huge one of those signings where you're like, man, I didn't think that was anything in free agent or like spring training. And now midway of the season, he's a key contributor to this club because the defense is legit. The infield now is arguably really, really solid. Like,
is
all
BrendanRodgers left-handed? I can't remember.
I can look it up.
Because I know LuisGarcia is left-handed. And you want to talk about another guy who can pick it. LuisGarcia. So I want to say that there was murmurs of a platoon of Doobie and BrendanRodgers at second.
BrendanRodgers is right-handed. He's right-handed.
So then maybe a platoon of LuisGarcia and BrendanRodgers, and then Doobie as the utility guy, like how we've said all season, last season, this season, that MauricioDubon is best served as a utility, getting guys off their feet.
I mean, yeah, I'm curious as to how many position guys make the roster. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's typically 13. Sometimes you go 14-12. You've got, I don't know if Guillorme fits into that now that you're going to have, you know, I would imagine you'd have just a weird number, right? I would.
Well, let's do it. So VictorCaratini,
mm-hmm.
Yainer Diaz.
Mm-hmm.
We got our catchers. ChristianWalker, first base.
Mm-hmm. John Singleton. Mm-hmm.
Second base.
BrendanRodgers.
Isak. Oh wait, no. Second base, Brendan. Okay. Second base is the question mark though. Hold on.
Yes.
So for sure, we've got 5. Third base, Isaac Paredes.
Yes. JeremyPena.
Shortstop, JeremyPena. Left fielder, JoseAltuve.
Yes.
That's going to be weird. Center field, JakeMeyers. And right field, Chas McCormick. Okay, so that's 10.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So now if you go 3 more, do any of the kids make it? I mean, does CamSmith not start on the big league roster? Like, that's a question for me. Like, does he start?
I don't think he does. I want him
Sugarland?
to, but I don't think he does.
I don't know if he keeps hitting how he doesn't. That's my thing. Like, how do you? Okay, Doobie's one of the guys that we have to. So that's an automatic. So that's 11. So you got guys like Taylor Trammell who they signed.
Taylor's out though. Taylor's out with a quad strain,
but
for quite some time.
Okay,
quite some time. He's Ben Gamel.
Gamel's another one. I think he probably makes the roster.
What we've got: Ben Gamel,
Doobie,
LuisGarcia, BrendanRodgers. Well, so those are the questions. Well, I mean, obviously Doobie's here.
Yeah. But I'm just talking about like there's the 10 that start and then the 3 after that.
Right. So, I mean, those are your question marks. DeZenzo.
Didn't even name him. Yeah. Leon before he got hurt. I think that was somebody they were probably going to look at, because you got to feel like the way Chaz and Jake have started, the leash is going to be short.
Do you think?
I kind of feel like it has to be. I don't see a scenario where they go into game number 1 and those guys are like absolutely struggling all spring training, and they go, well, there are guys, we're just going to roll with them, and they don't have anybody. Obviously Doobie will play some outfield, Gamel, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. The outfield is not a great outfield. It's not a great outfield. JakeMeyers is going to be running down all the balls though. All the balls. Like they're gonna be like Altuve.
Or will he like slow up before they get there and like let it hit and
I don't
kind of Cadillac up to it.
I think he's going to make some incredible plays. But also I think he's going to make some routine plays look incredible. And we're just going to sit there and be like, sir, why did you have to take that route to that ball? Like, okay. But for all of JakeMeyers' faults, he is a very good defensive center fielder, right? Very good. I miss the old JakeMeyers, the original JakeMeyers before he got hurt. I miss him.
Hockey JakeMeyers.
I miss him. I do. I think the 2 most important offensive pieces on this team that need to have above average years. I'm not even saying good years. I'm saying above average years. JeremyPena and Chas McCormick. Why are you giving me that look?
Because
is it the JeremyPena of it, or because we all know it's not the Chas McCormick of it, so it's got to be the JeremyPena of it.
Well, I both of them really, like, I'm not expecting those guys to excel. If Jeremy is just Jeremy, I think that'll be fine. I think if you got Chaz from 2 years ago, that would be fine. I don't need him to go world beater. I think the guys that need to ball out are the guys that they added. I think Isaac Paredes needs to have a really good year, and I think ChristianWalker needs to have a really good year. I think if everybody else is status quo, then the team is better.
Honestly, I'm not worried about Isaac Paredes and ChristianWalker. Quite frankly, I'm worried that the team's bad habits are going to rub off on ChristianWalker and Isaac Paredes. Truth be told, I mean, all offseason long, we have talked. Dana has said about why we went out and got ChristianWalker, why we went out and got Isaac Paredes. Joe Espada has said, hey, last season, we kind of got away from our approach. You're goddamn right we did. The Astros of old that used to wear out pitchers by the 4th inning is no longer. And I get why. we dug ourselves that deep ass hole, and they're like, nope, we got to score, and we got motherfuckers one pitch, one out, and we got ass pitchers almost doing complete games because our guys can't lay off some fucking pitches. All right, that's what I'm worried about. Isaac Paredes, I think I heard a stat today that he literally leads the league in the number of pitches he sees per plate appearance. Christian Walker is 10th in the entire league. We used to have guys that did that. AlexBregman used to be one of them. He's obviously gone. But JoseAltuve used to be a very patient guy. Like we used to see, besides the first pitch ambush, besides that, we used to see 8, 9, 10 pitch at bats. JoseAltuve just fucking fouling off balls and then finally getting one and getting on base. But we have gone away from that approach. I say we, like I'm a mouse in somebody's pocket. I'm not. Okay. But I've watched the Astros team get away from that approach. And, was it yesterday's game? Yeah, yesterday's game where it was MauricioDubon. Well, let me see. I literally wrote out the tweet because it was so absolutely fucking ridiculous. Let me see here. La 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 la. Okay, so this was a day ago. This was the game against the Mets. Doobie saw 2 pitches, 1 out. Paredes saw 7 pitches, worked a walk. Christian Walker saw 6 pitches, roped a double. And it was a long ass double. I'm talking like 5 more feet and it would have been a home run. Okay. Like, welcome to the Christian Walker show, y'all. I know that you guys are not sickos like me and you did not watch a ton of Diamondbacks ball, but just know you're going to see a ton of great infield defense and some long ass hits. All right. Just be prepared, y'all. Be prepared. And sir, can I just mention that you fill out a pair of baseball pants just very, very well, Christian Walker. Good job. So Christian Walker saw 6 pitches, roped a double. Yiner, 2 pitches, 2 outs. Caratini, 2 pitches, run on an error. Gamel, 5 pitches, hit by pitch. Chaz, 2 pitches, got the 3rd out. Literally 8 pitches between our quote-unquote regular guys and 13 between our 2 new ones. This is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about. We got to work at bats, guys. We got to work at bats. I'm screaming at my TV like they can hear me. And like I'm at my daughter's volleyball game. I'm like, communicate, call the ball, working at bat. I'm that Asian mom at sporting events, okay? I don't know what more needs to be said because, again, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them not swing at the first fucking pitch. Looking at you, JeremyPena, MauricioDubon. I can't say anything about JoseAltuve because it's Altuve.
And some of that is that way, and I think Altuve is part of the problem because he does so much damage on that first pitch. And when you hear some people talk about, the art of hitting, sometimes a lot of people feel like sometimes the first pitch is the best pitch you're ever going to get because psychologically you're taught to take pitches, to work at bats, just like you're screaming. Psychologically, they've had the Asian mom in their ear since they were 5 years old. So it's kind of like reverse think to go, okay, let me flip the script and go, let me lock in on that first one because that's the best pitch I'm going to see and do damage. Now, not everybody can do that, and Altuve proves that all the time. Like, what I can do is not something I'm telling you to do. Stick to what works. Get yourself to that hitter's count to where now I'm going to get a fastball. we were chatting back and forth talking about, the aircraft carrier, and how you feel like he's never going to see another fastball. And I'm like, well, that's going to be his job to earn one, because if you get into a fastball count, the pitcher's not going to keep throwing off speed stuff if he has to be able to locate.
Explain to people who the aircraft carrier is, Tom, if they're not chronically online, like us losers.
If you do not know who the prize of the KyleTucker trade was, you will soon know, because this kid is the future at third base for the Houston Astros, in my opinion, barring something crazy unforeseen. His name's CamSmith. He is a big kid. He's 23 years old. He's 6'3", 226 pounds. And he's really, really good at baseball. Former first-round pick, and he hasn't been in the majors long, and already
when we say he hasn't been in the majors long, y'all, he was playing college baseball last year at this time. I wasn't aware of that when he got drafted. Like, I had no idea. I knew that he was a really good college baseball player, but I was not aware that he was playing college ball last year at this time. That's how good he is. And to really drive home that point, the first 2 at-bats that CamSmith has taken, he's worked 2 walks. What was that about us needing more patient hitters? Okay. The last 2 at-bats that he took, 2 homers. Oppo.
Power.
In the same game. And just, I've seen enough. Put him in the fucking outfield. Put him at third base. I don't give a fuck. Get him on the roster. I don't know who we need to get off of the 40-man to get him on the. I don't know. At this point, I don't give a fuck.
Suzy is terrified about the thought of JoseAltuve playing left field, because he can't field the position. Fuck how great of a hitter he is. Can't field the position. Suzy is also not giving a fuck about whether CamSmith can ever play any position. I just need that bat in the lineup. I just want to point that out.
I've seen enough. I don't care. Now, granted, am I in jest about JoseAltuve's defensive capabilities? Yes, because I know that motherfucker, that tiny man, is more athletically gifted than I will ever be in my wildest dreams. And by all accounts, by all reports, he is a kid in a candy store learning that outfield. And I have no doubts that this is, I don't want to say invigorated JoseAltuve's love for baseball, because I don't think he ever fell out of love with baseball, but he's been playing second base for 14 years, right? And he is an elite baseball player. At this time, like, what's he got to do? Like, is he going to learn anything new at second base? No. But I feel like he kind of got into the routine, and maybe, just maybe, left field is a whole new challenge for him, and that perks his brain up. It wakes up a part of his brain that has been dormant for, I don't know, the last 10 years or so, 5 years maybe. I'm not saying that he's coming into the season every day. Oh, another day at the field. But he's been playing second base for 14 years. It's a new challenge, and it seems like he's having fun out there. I mean, he's telling Julian Morales, "Here comes the outfielders," as he's running in with Chaz and Ben and Jake. And I kind of love it. So, as much as I say that I have fears about JoseAltuve in left field, I know he's going to figure it out. He's going to figure it the fuck out. He's going to do awesome at it. Now, there will be some balls that go over his head. Maybe do some box jumps.
I'm going to do one better. I think he's going to play really good left field. I'm going to tell you why. Because I think any time ever in his whole life, somebody told him he couldn't do it because he wasn't big enough, wasn't fast enough, wasn't strong enough, the chip on his shoulder just got so fucking big. And he's like, oh no, I'm here now. And that's why he's here right now, because his whole life they've been saying, oh no, you can't do this. You can't do that. You're not big enough. You can't do this. You know how many times he had to hear people probably snicker about the idea of him playing left field. He goes, oh, I'm going to do that. And I think he's going to ball out, and it's going to be, and I think that's going to be infectious on the offensive side, to your point, where I think he could have a monster season just because people kind of look down on him a little bit, like Jose Altuve is trying to play left field. I mean, literally and figuratively they look down on him. Jose Altuve is trying to play left field. Like, is he really trying to do that? No, he's not going to do that. Yeah, I'm going to do it. And we're going to win while I do it, because he flat out said, I'm going to do whatever it takes to win. And we're just going to go ahead and do that. Those were his words. So I'm not going to look past him.
So incoming Gold Glove for Jose Altuve and left?
Never happened, but it'd be cool. I don't think that anybody would vote for him. How many years did Bregman not get a Gold Glove at third base because of the H on his hat? Altuve's not winning a Gold Glove left field. They'll give it to somebody on a technicality, but I think he'll play really good defense. I think he might make a play where we're over here going, damn, Tuve.
Listen, if Juan Soto can get in the running for a fucking Gold Glove at right field, Jose fucking Altuve can get in the running for a Gold Glove. Okay, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right,
he should.
We all know Juan Soto's outfield capabilities ain't all that in a bag of chips. Wow, that was a old that
Aaron Judge too.
Reference. Very far.
Aaron Judge too.
So yeah, give me CamSmith. Bring me CamSmith at third. Move Isak to second, and let's fucking roll.
I'm here for it. I mean, personally, I think that he will be on the Astros roster sooner rather than later. I really think that Dana Brown has showed any chance there was to play a kid who was hot. He did it, whether it was a pitcher, whether it was an outfielder, infielder didn't care. You're seeing the Astros be more aggressive with younger talent. I mean, I don't think any of us 2 years ago thought Joey Loperfido was going to be in the outfield for the Astros ever. And last year he was in the outfield so much they traded him. So to think that CamSmith is that far away when, he called him an aircraft carrier, which just shows how much he thinks this guy can be really, really big for the Astros. The type of player that, will carry you for 5-6 seasons. I don't think they're going to slow that dude down.
All right. So we have talked about the infield, the outfield. Let's go pitching. Talk about the pitching. So we all know Framber Valdez, Game 1 starter. If Framber makes this start this year, I think he will be only the second Astros pitcher to start 4 consecutive seasons. Only Roy Oswalt apparently started more. Opening day. So, I mean, that's some vaunted air there. So, Framber, Hunter Brown, Spencer, Ronell, and Hayden Wesneski. That is going to be the 5. LuisGarcia apparently is going to be up at some point this season. And also that one guy that does all the coffee, Lance McCullers, LMJ, has been making his bullpens, has been throwing off mounds, and apparently feels good. So hopefully we get some LMJ back in action. I would love that. I would love to see LMJ back in action. What happens if LMJ and LuisGarcia both come back? Who goes where?
Well, I think that becomes a 6-man rotation. I think that's the best way to take care of the young arms, take care of the older arms, take care of everybody. I think that's something the Astros have done for a while now. They're not afraid to do it. You carry one less.
Still, that leaves that's 7. That's 7 starting pitchers.
True. Then somebody ends up in the bullpen. That's very an easy fix. Now,
so
what happens in the bullpen is going to be crazy work. I don't know how you figure that out. To me, if all of those guys are available, I think it's going to be LuisGarcia. And not for the right reasons, for the wrong reasons. I think it's going to be because LMJ has been very public about how he's a starter and how he doesn't feel like he could go into the bullpen because that's not what he's comfortable doing. He's never done it. He had this long interview where he was basically like, I basically respect what they do. I don't know that I could get up, get down as many times as they do. My preparation is more built to being a starter. And if that changes one day, it changes. But right now, That's my focus is being a starter. So I do believe LJ when he says that. I do think he would ask the Astros not to use him any other way that isn't a starter. It'll be interesting. Wesneski was a long guy. I could see them move him into the pen. Those are good problems to have. It's better to have too much than not enough. I don't know. You could see they alternate starts. You could see a guy get an extra day.
So you think LuisGarcia goes back to the bullpen as opposed to Hayden Wesneski?
I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. He's going to get a chance to start the season. And if he's rolling, do you take him out of the rotation because LuisGarcia shows up? I don't know.
If you're audio only, go to the YouTube side and you will see the face that I just made because it broke my brain just a little bit trying to think about that. If
Hayden Wesneski's rolling and he's pitching well, there's no reason to force LuisGarcia back into a heavy workload. You know, they can make him pitch 2-3 innings at a time. They can slowly work him back in. Luis came up kind of as like a long reliever type guy. So I don't think him coming out of the pen should be that difficult for him. I think he'll just pitch wherever they ask him to pitch. He's probably not going to complain about it where, you know, Lance has pretty much been very vocal about what he wants to do. I'm sure Wesneski would go to the pen too if that's what they wanted to do. If he shows up and starts balling, how do you take him out of the rotation? The other four are locks. So it's really just him.
That's a good point. That is a good point. A note about Sean Dubin, who was most likely a lock to come back and be in that bullpen, unfortunately was sent back to Houston and got an MRI, I believe, and there is shoulder inflammation, elbow. Mm-hmm. No, I think it's shoulder inflammation. Okay. That's not great news. So he's going to be out for a while. He's going to be on the IL. I don't love that because he was kind of our only guy that could be a long man. I say that. Taylor Scott is still there. I understand. But do you remember that we used the fuck out of Taylor Scott? And then like that one game where he had to pitch like 4 innings, like he kind of wasn't the same guy after that game. Do you remember that game?
Yeah. It was like an extra inning game, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It wasn't great. So Sean Dubin was that long inning guy that I think we're going to sorely be lacking. And I think we're going to really, really need. So there are, how many locks do we have? Brian Abreu, Josh Hader, obviously. There's your 8 and 9. Mm-hmm. Taylor Scott, I think is back there. So what is that? 3? Yes, I can count. And so who are our options? We have.
I think they like King. I think they like
Brian
Ort.
King, Caleb Ort. I thought Caleb Ort was shut down for a little bit because of an oblique strain. Yes? No? Maybe so? Am I on crack?
Debatable. Okay, but I think oblique is not like long term.
Yeah, but you don't want to rush back from obliques, though. I say that I don't have any, but I hear that you don't want to rush back from oblique strains. I don't know. People who exercise tell me. So they like Brian King. They like Caleb Ort. Taylor Scott is obviously there. So that is what, 5?
Mm-hmm. I think there's that other kid that you're not going to get excited about. I think they're really hoping to use him this season.
Forrest Whitley. Oh, you know what? Forrest Whitley could be the long guy.
They are building him up to do that. 2 to 3 innings.
Forrest Whitley could be the long guy. There we go. I'm not getting excited. I'm not.
I was burying that lead. I was going to let you name all these guys and be like, hey, there's this other guy. Maybe you've heard of him. He's the number 1 pick out of San Antonio.
Not going to get excited. But that inning and a half of work that he did the last game, that was.
And the arrogance in which he pitched was very
bravado.
Hunter,
my God.
was very Spencer. Like, I know I'm better than you, and I'm coming, and you can't hit it.
It was nice. It was real nice. Yeah. Forrest Whitley.
Is it time?
I'm not doing it. I'm not getting excited. I'm not doing it. But he's out of options. So if they don't put him on the roster, they're going to have to put him on waivers. And immediately, another club is going to pick him up. Like, so he's got to be on there. So what is that? 7?
Sounds about right.
I lost count.
I thought it was 6.
Hader Abreu, Taylor Scott,
Brian King,
Caleb Ward, Force Philly. Okay, 6. So that's 6.
You put that with 7 starters. There's your 12. Or no, 13. That's 13. That's it.
Wow. So Rafael Montero Jr. just out in the cold, huh? Back in AAA?
I don't know. I mean, this is his walk year. So if they let him go, I mean, you're not going, well, there's $11 million I'm not going to have. I mean, you've already spent it. So if he shows up and he pitches, then obviously he could step in for King or if he doesn't pitch well, then good luck in whatever other uniform you decide to wear.
All right. Yeah. So, ay.
What do you do with VictorCaratini?
What do you mean? What do I do with VictorCaratini?
How do you play him? When do you play him? Does he catch every 5th day, every 6th day? Does he catch 2 days in a row? Give Yiner a couple days off? He won't play first. He shouldn't play first. He DH some, I would assume, but what do you do with VictorCaratini? That's a really good backup.
How are you going to DH him? You can't DH him. Then where's Jordan going to go?
Well, that's what I'm saying. The day you give Jordan a day off. I was thinking about the roster, and there's a lot of guys that you can play, and you can play Doobie here, or you can play John Singleton at first. But I feel like VictorCaratini is kind of squeezed unless you're catching him like almost 50-50 with Yiner. You don't want to do that. You really want Yiner's bat. So it's like VictorCaratini is going to be really hard. I think he's just not going to get a lot of playing time.
I think he's going to get a lot of pinch hit opportunities.
Oh, yeah. But those are so tough to like not play and then ice cold. Hey, go in there and face somebody's, high-end reliever or something like that.
Yeah. I think he's going to get a lot of pinch hit opportunities though. That is my gut feeling. But I do think though that they're going to, or maybe they'll, I don't know, maybe they'll split time. Maybe it'll be like Yiner plays the first 5 innings and VictorCaratini plays the last 2.
Could you imagine him being like 2 for 2 and they're like, oh, we're pinch hitting him? Like, no, I mean, if Yiner was older, I would agree with you. The fact that Yiner's so young and everybody's expecting like a lot, and then you have 2 guys at first base. I don't know how they deploy VictorCaratini. It sucks because he's really good. I don't want to not see him play. I just don't know where you play him. And every time they play him and he doesn't perform, he'll be second guessed. And I hate that. I absolutely hate that because it'll be like, well, if you'd played ChristianWalker, they wouldn't have had this problem. Or, well, if you'd have played Yiner. And it's like, he's got to play.
Yeah.
They're going to do the same thing with John Singleton too, but I'm just saying, like, at least John Singleton for ChristianWalker is like, okay, he's the backup first baseman. He should play first base when ChristianWalker doesn't play. It's like, I get it. Victor's going to catch, once a week, twice a week, but it's just going to be tough.
Yeah. I don't know. That's not a puzzle piece that's not a problem that I have pondered in my head. But you know what I have pondered in my head, Dom?
What's that?
The batting order.
Ooh, I love it. I love these games. Let's play it.
So obviously our short king is going to be leadoff.
No reason not to be. 2-hole. Who goes in Suzy's 2-hole on opening day?
Hey now. That's a very personal question. Honestly though, I think Isaac Paredes.
I like it.
Again, we talked about how he sees the most pitches. And I think if Jordan is behind him,
he's going to see even more pitches. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I think Tuve, Isaac Paredes, Yordan, Christian Walker is top 4. I think Yiner in the 5 spot. And then 6 through 9
Good Lord.
is a mishmash of, I don't even know. Chaz, Doobie, Jake. And honestly, I want to put JeremyPena in the 9 hole so that he can be leadoff. So that he can get on base. And then Altuve drive him in. That's in my head what ideal situation. I don't think he's going to be there though. And I don't think JakeMeyers can be that other leadoff.
So let me suggest 2 horrible ideas that could happen for no other reason than, I love being an agent of chaos. So
okay.
I don't think there's any doubt Altuve being the leadoff hitter. I think set in stone, 100 out of 100, you get Tuve first. Yeah. But I do think there are 2 names that could go in the 2 hole that people would either not hate all the way, or just see it play out. The first one's JeremyPena. For all the reasons you pointed out, he's going to get to see more pitches. He's a guy that if he gets on in front of Yordan, now all of a sudden you've got to do the can steal the bag. You got, the heart of the order coming up behind him. Really could be somebody that, speed up at the top. Or, and I don't know why I like this, but I've seen it work on other teams. The Astros tried it. Everyone hated it. And it was the fact that no one else could hit around him. And that's put YordanAlvarez in the 2 hole. And everybody hates it. And other clubs employ it, saying, we want our best hitters to get the most at-bats in a game. Just saying, I want my 2 hole hitter to be one of my best hitters because statistically speaking, he's going to get the 5th at-bat where the 3 hole, the 4 hole guys are only going to get 4. And if you have a bottom of the ninth situation where you need a dinger, you want him to come up. The Yankees do it with Aaron Judge and no one complains because it seems like he always comes up in those situations because he's in the 2 hole.
If I had a more patient leadoff hitter, by all means, put Yordan in the 2 hole. But what did we literally just talk about? We talked about Altuve trying to ambush that first pitch, and he's been up there. 1 pitch, 1 out, and Yordan has been rushed. And he's gotten better, but he said that when he originally started and Joe Espada put him in the 2 hole, he had to get used to it because he was not used to getting up to bat that quickly. 1 pitch, 1 out. And now here comes Yordan. He's like, oh fuck, I gotta do my batting gloves. I gotta get my shit still on. So if we had a more patient leadoff batter, I would say absolutely get Yordan in the 2 hole. But Altuve is going to Altuve. And I want Yordan to be more comfortable. I want Yordan to be able to see more pitches. I don't hate JeremyPena in the 2 hole. He can be my 2 hole anytime. Anyhow, I don't hate JeremyPena in the 2 hole. We saw how effective it was. Dusty employed that. It was literally the one thing that I approved of Dusty doing. I don't hate that. And then, you could move Isak down to 5. And then move Yiner to 6. Goddamn, Yiner, Diaz in the 6 hole. Or vice versa. You could have Yiner behind Christian Walker and then Isaac Paredes behind Yiner. And then you lengthen the lineup that way. And then we really do only have to worry about Chaz and Jake and their ridiculous bats.
See, I don't mind. And the reason why I brought up the Yordan in the 2 hole, because one, I liked it. Everyone hated it. And I get it. You want your run producer to drive guys in. But if you have guys that can do that behind him, you make your lineup top heavy and you just let starters figure it out. We talked about patient hitters. You talked about Isak and you talked about Christian Walker being super patient. So now give me the 2 most feared dudes in the lineup at the top and put the 2 most patient dudes behind them. And I think that just makes the top of the lineup so much more potent, because if I've got Christian Walker protecting YordanAlvarez in 3 and then Isak in 4 and then Yainer at 5, like I really feel like the top of that lineup can go get you 4 runs by themselves. And then you don't care what the back end does. You can still put Jeremy at 9. You can still have him in front of Altuve for all the reasons you pointed out. You know what I mean? And then you kind of protect yourself from having Chaz and Jake hurt you too much, because they're kind of in the middle. You know what I mean? I know it's probably not going to happen. I know it's probably a lineup that people would hate, but I don't hate it. I think one of the things that Joe Espada really will try to do is play with the lineup a little bit. I don't think he's afraid to move guys around. I know some guys are like creatures of habit. Like, I want to know where I'm going to bat every day, but I think all our guys are, they're definitely not young guys. They're all long in the tooth to an extent and can deal with it. To your point about Yordan not being ready, a year ago, yes. Now I think he knows exactly what to expect, and I don't think he would have a problem being in the 2-hole.
You're correct. However, when they approached Yordan about being a full-time DH, he begrudgingly said, whatever for the team, blah, blah, blah. But the one stipulation he did put on that was that he wanted to not change the batting order. For him, don't give a fuck who's around him. For him, he wants to know where he's going to be in the lineup, because it does change the mindset, and it does change how he's going to take his at-bats, and, how he's going to gauge pitches and all that fun stuff. So you have very valid points on the Yordan in the 2-hole, and then Christian Walker, Isak behind him. But then again, we talk about how top-heavy lineups are and how we don't like those, right? I would love a lengthened lineup. And I kind of feel like that JeremyPena in the 2-hole now is that lengthened lineup.
It could be. Again, you're putting him from 9 to 2 in front of Tuve or behind Tuve. I think doesn't change what he does. I think the idea is still going to be to try to get on base and be a threat to run, to be somebody that can be driven in by the top of the lineup. I mean, I don't necessarily think that.
Was that his rookie year? Was that JeremyPena's rookie year? Where he was batting the 2-hole? No, it wasn't, right?
Maybe. I've drank since then.
Time is a flat circle.
Yeah.
Guys, put it in the YouTube comments. Please let me know if that was JeremyPena's rookie year. I feel like it wasn't. I feel like that was the year. I feel like that was the 2023 season where Dusty put him in the 2-hole a bunch. But let me know. Put it in the YouTube comments and let me know, please. I probably could, look it up. But what good is that? That's not fun. And we want to make this show a little bit interactive, right? So tell me, look that up. Tell me, let me know. I don't know. I was in a baseball chat the other day, and someone had said that the Astros window was closing. Because we have no good players. And I was like, I'm sorry. What? Do you forget that we have YordanAlvarez? And their retort back was, well, I'm not worried about an aging Yordan. No. I'm sorry. An aging Yordan? In what fucking world are you going to say that a 27-year-old YordanAlvarez is an aging Yordan? I mean, granted, I realize that he's been in the league for, 5 years now, 6 years. He came up in 2019, right?
You're killing me asking me all these questions, man.
I'm sorry. Remember before that was like baby baseball Suzy. Okay, I'm trying here.
I'm on it.
But
I wasn't prepared.
I mean, he's been in the league for like 6 years. I get it, people. I understand that everyone's like, oh my god, he's been here forever, and that's why we think he's so old. He's 27. All right, he's literally 1 year older than fucking Juan Soto. So miss me with the whole fucking aging Yordan shit.
6 years, 2019.
Okay. So I was correct. That right there, I was like, you know what? You're right. You're right. The Astros window is closing because we have a quote unquote aging Yordan. That just tells me that I'm gonna have more success arguing with a motherfucking wall. Because your dumbass thinks that a 27-year-old YordanAlvarez is not going to be a good baseball player. So
he's actually got more tread on the tires because he's played one less year than Juan Soto of Major League Baseball.
Yeah, I was like, that's fine. You wanna argue with me and tell me that the sky is not blue? By all means. I am old enough to realize when I am not going to win a fucking fight, and I'm not even going to engage because I have very little brain cells left, and I cannot waste them on some stupid motherfuckers. All right, I gotta waste them on learning the amortization fucking formula. Stay in school, kids. Stay in school. Anyhow, I'm sure there are other fun storylines that I have missed. Do you have any other things that you would like to chat about, Tom?
I learned CamSmith's nickname today. Are you aware?
Sugar Pickle? No.
Sweet Pickle.
Sweet Pickle. I tried going to maybe it's on the YouTube side. I did not search the YouTubes for that podcast. I only looked up the actual podcast episode to try and find it, and I could not find it. So if anybody finds that podcast episode of why his nickname is Sweet Pickle, please send it to me because I need to know the backstory on that because my mind is going wild. Trying to come up with a fucking story right now.
I don't know if that one's gonna stick though. I don't know if anybody's gonna be like our favorite Sweet Pickle, CamSmith.
Yeah, I'm just saying I think we should just call him AC for short and just get on with it. And the real ones, if you know, you know. AC equals aircraft carrier. Nice and easy. And
I'm dying to figure out what the section of Dyken Park will be called. You know, obviously there's King's Court, or there was King's Court, and you know.
Well, he doesn't have a position yet, so we can't give him a section yet.
I don't think it'll take long. The way this kid has looked so far, and the way everyone in the Cubs organization talked about this guy. I mean, he's about as can't miss as you can get. Like everybody's hyped him up. He's the most successful prospect the Astros had in a very long time, and I don't know that you can see him and not go, okay, yeah, he's exactly as advertised.
It softens the blow. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still very upset with the Astros organization for trading away KyleTucker. I understand why they traded away KyleTucker, and the Delulu 1% part of my brain is really hoping and praying and wishing that Dana Brown had some sort of like handshake agreement with KyleTucker and is like, look, you go to Chicago for a season. Let us get some prospects over here. Let us build up the farm system. We got money coming off the books. And Jim Crane has already given me the checkbook, and we are going to write you a fucking check. I did 1% Delulu part of my brain. Irrational baseball Suzy is really kind of hoping for that. The actual smart baseball Suzy is saying absolutely not. There's no way that Jim Crane is going to sign KyleTucker to a long-term deal, and I should just get used to KyleTucker in pinstripes.
I do want to tell you that there is a history for that. The Yankees did that with Aroldis Chapman. They traded him away at the trade deadline because they weren't in it. He went off, he pitched, and then they signed him in the offseason. So it can happen. I think if that does happen, you build a statue of Dana Brown right fucking next to JoseAltuve, because for all the people that have been dogging Dana, the man has cooked. You can say what you want about the trades he's had to make. You can say what you want about the prospects he's had to give up. But anybody he's brought into this organization has played well. I can't really fault him on any of the contracts he signed. They've all been, fair, team friendly. You're not going, holy shit, look at the contract Dana Brown signed. I mean, the Christian Walker deal, I think that was a steal. I mean, if you go look at what $20 million could get you, I don't think it would have got you Christian Walker. I just don't. And the fact that he was able to do that, I mean, the trade like you talked about, if all those guys pan out, I mean, he got a lot for what could be 1 year of KyleTucker.
Yep. And a lot of team control. That was what Dana Brown was really after. A lot of team control. Isak has 2 more years? I think. Hayden has 4 more years, I think. And then CamSmith, obviously, we haven't started the clock on him yet. So, it's a lot of team control that we gave up for the 1 season of KyleTucker.
Isak is a free agent in 2028.
Oh, so 3 years. So we have him for 3 years. Okay. So yeah, lots and lots of years of team control for the 1 year of KyleTucker. And it hurt. It did. It hurt. But, if the pitching lab can get with Hayden Wesneski and get him straight away. I want to say that I listened to a podcast of the Astroline of what the Astros podcast that Robert Ford and Sparky do in the offseason. I want to say that Hayden was on there, and I think he was playing with a new pitch, or they were adjusting one of his pitches or something like that. So don't quote me on that. But I mean, we've seen what our pitching coaches can do, and the analytics team can produce. So if Isak pans out the way that we think he's going to, if CamSmith AC, if he turns out to be the next coming of Yordan, by all means. And then, if Hayden Wesneski ends up being a really good 3, 4, 5 pitcher, that will be known as the CamSmith trade. That will be known as the, we fleeced the Cubs type of deal. So if that ends up, build the statue. Build the fucking statue. I'm with you, Tom. Build the fucking statue.
Hayden is 27. He literally just turned 27. He's not a free agent until 2030. And he's a strikeout per inning guy. Last year, he was 67 and 2/3 innings, 67 strikeouts. So, I mean, that's really good, really young. And career 3.93 ERA, which isn't terrible. And I think he's going to be really motivated to pitch for the Astros hometown team. So you like you said, you get a number 3, all-star caliber third baseman, and this can't miss prospect. How can you not be happy with that?
I am excited. I wish that I could have watched today's game, because apparently Yainer Diaz hit a fucking bomb. No one saw it, though.
It was pretty. It's on Twitter. It's out there.
No one saw it in real time. I mean, unless we're there.
They hit it. Framber pitched well.
Fromber pitched really well. It was funny because I was listening to it on the radio, because that was the only way that you could hear any of it or know what was going on in the game. And I want to say that I think he put 2 people on and then immediately got a ground ball double play.
He walked somebody, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He walked somebody. And yeah, I mean, you want to talk about the infield defense being of utmost importance. Our literal 1 and 2 punch, Fromber and Hunter, are ground ball pitchers. So the infield
Ronell too, right?
Yeah. I mean, obviously not as much as, but that infield defense is going to be even more important than it has been in past years. So as much as, it's going to be a new look Astros, we will not see our short king in the infield. I think it's going to be a really good infield for defense. And if JeremyPena can get back to his Gold Glove ways, I would love that. Make the plays that you're supposed to make, JeremyPena. That's all I ask. And stay away from the low and away sliders. Any last thoughts, Tom?
I'm ready for baseball. I want it to start tomorrow. Like, give me the Mets tomorrow, opening day. Let's do it. I've seen enough. I'm ready to go. Excited to see what the roster ends up looking like. Obviously, we talked about how it could be very fluid. I don't know if CamSmith keeps going, how you don't put him on a roster. I just don't. I think you do that if I'm Dana. Maybe they want to hold off because they can win without him, but I would hate to waste him in Sugarland. Although selfishly, I'm right down the street. I could definitely go check him out.
This is also true. I've seen enough. Put him at third. I don't give a fuck. Put him at third. I would love that. So, with that said, if you guys want to argue with us about anything that we've said or, give compliments, I would love that as well. Come find us on the socials. Tom, where can they find you on the interwebs?
Same old. At Third Coast Tom on Twitter, at TCTom1 on Instagram, and obviously on this YouTube. Please hit me up in the YouTube.
Yes. So obviously come find us on the socials. It is on the YouTube's right there, baseball_SuzyQ. I don't ever use that account though. I don't know why it's there. I just tweet from the main show account. Like, I'm important enough to have two accounts? Not really, but here I am. So go find us on the socials, say nice things. And if you have not already, do and say the nice things and give us the ratings on the Apple side, 5 stars. That would be great. Spotify, also nice words and 5-star ratings. And then if you've not already subscribed to the YouTubes, why are we not doing that? Please subscribe to the YouTubes. Before we took our unintended hiatus, we had big plans of actually getting numbers and growing the channel and getting to 500 subscribers at the end of the year. I would love to do that. We've got some catching up to do though, because we took an unintended hiatus, and for that I'm very sorry. But you know what you should do to make it up to me? I don't know why you're making it up to me. I should be making it up to you. But, if you subscribe, though, that will give me the encouragement to, get off my ass and be like, Suzy, we have to record. I know we have to record. So there are things in flux, though, with the Bourbon and Baseball All the Balls edition. So we'll see what's going on with that. But in the meantime, Bourbon and Baseball Astros Edition will be here. I will be here. Tom will be here. And we will keep you up to date on all of the Astros things. The All of the Balls edition, like I said, will be in flux. We will probably talk about that a little bit more once things are a little bit more concrete. And with that, we are going to say good night and goodbye. And yay, baseball!